Hello, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the wonderful streaming services that I post my videos on. My cat would like to say hello to you as well. Happy 2017, and hello to everybody new. So we're at the start of a new year, and I have two topics that I want to touch on real quick. One of them's been eating at me for a while. I intermittently host gaming on Twitch, and one of the things that just kind of has been irking me lately, I know people are gonna shit all over me for saying stuff about this, and I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail for this one. But one of the trends that we're starting to see on specifically Twitch, I mean, I don't necessarily follow the trends on YouTube as much. But lately on Twitch, what you're starting to see is a lot of celebrities, and oddly enough, former porn stars are now streaming on Twitch. And personally, and I've said this many times on my streams and to people who have asked me, I have no interest whatsoever in a Twitch partnership. Just for the political and social ideas that Amazon pursues. Twitch's enforcement of their own policies has been very haphazard and inconsistent, and I don't want to be part of that. And I also don't like the contract that they require their partners to sign, which basically binds you to their service. So the issue that I have with this is for people who actually are trying to build a career on Twitch. One of the biggest hurdles is being noticed. And now you're having people who are celebrities, MMA fighters, former porn stars, former actors, former news anchors, streaming on Twitch, and they now have a baked-in audience based on their notoriety. So is this not then stacking the deck against new people? Because now these people can get partnerships, which I have yet to see anything where Twitch says you can't use former branding to promote your channel. So now here you have an MMA fighter who has, 50, 60,000 loyal fans who then watch them on Twitch, guaranteeing them a partnership in a matter of months. So maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm just being stupid, but it kind of pisses on Twitch's brand of, supporting small streamers, supporting gamers. I mean, they've been pushing their platform closer and closer to what YouTube is, to what Justin TV to a degree was. I mean, legally they kind of got to be careful due to copyright and, permissions from people. But yeah, I'd love to hear people's opinions on that specifically. My cat is just annoying. Come here, Charles. You want to say hi? Now he's being camera shy. Yeah, so I'd love to hear people's opinions on that. Even if I can get somebody from Twitch to actually address this. I mean, because I never hear this addressed on, dropped frames. It's something that I've never heard brought up. They just, celebrate it because they raise money for charity and stuff, which, don't get me wrong, it's excellent that they do that, but to the same degree, for a small upcoming streamer that wants to take Twitch seriously and build a brand for themselves, it's kind of hard. Now we're going to cover the second topic, and this one's more important, because here we go, we're starting off 2017, and here we have the peaceful civil rights activist group Black Lives Matter, and I know we're going to hear these are just fringe people not associated with the group, but they abducted a mentally ill white man and beat him, scalped him, made him drink toilet water, threatened his life with a knife. And here we have black celebrities, black news media, the Chicago Superintendent of Police dismissing it as not a hate crime, as not racially motivated, and we're already starting with this problem where we're endorsing violence, crime, racism at the beginning of a new year. And the real problem with this is how far will this go? Because when you refuse to vilify, see, this is the problem. Every group and organization out there has their core group and their fringe groups. Alt-right, KKK. Civil rights movements, Black Lives Matter, Black Panthers. The Peaceful Religion of Islam, the Muslim Brotherhood, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. Every group has their core and their fringe. And right now, Black Lives Matter is skirting the line. And when black leadership, black politicians, black police officers refuse to vilify the actions of this group, and let's be clear, they don't protest peacefully. They don't value life. Period. I don't see the alt-right getting up there every day. And let's be clear, I'm not an alt-right supporter. I'm an open-minded person. I like listening to all viewpoints, taking in information, and making my own decisions. I don't see the alt-right getting up every day going, let's kill niggers, let's burn Jews. No. They want a discussion. What you hear out of Black Lives Matters is, kill cops, kill white people. White people should be our slaves, rape white women. This is what you're hearing out of them. And the fact that black leadership, including our own president, refuses to vilify these people is a big problem. And if you don't think it's a big problem, this is going to be just the start. What's next? They're going to endorse black kids going in and shooting up schools, black kids going in and shooting up malls, black kids beating the shit out of elderly white people because they're white. Because that's where this is going to head. And then what this will turn into is exactly what both sides, both the fringes on both sides, the KKK and the white pride movement, and the Black Panthers and Black Lives Matter, they want a race war. That is what they want. Their core goal is destabilization of the country. They're literally no different than ISIS. They want to destabilize this country. And they're succeeding. Every day you turn on the TV and there's nothing but discussion about race. When for the longest time we had finally dismissed people's differences based on the color of their skin and valued more the type of person that they were, now we do a huge step backwards, 50 years in progression of civil rights, human rights, and we're judging everything based on the color of somebody's skin again. And this is the problem with humanity in general. If you do any reading of history, every civilization that has fallen, this is why. They become an opulent society, they royal in their own wealth and their complacency, and they get bored, and the stupid people that exist in the country, in these societies, the weak, the ignorant, they breed, they multiply, and pretty soon they outnumber the reasonable people that were creating a great society to begin with. And this is the problem. The reasonable people are not multiplying, they don't have kids. And this is the end result. This is where we're headed again. So what's going to happen 50, 60, 100 years from now? Race wars? Is this what we want? So black leadership specifically, listen to this. You need to start vilifying these people. These people cannot be endorsed. You can't just passively say, oh, well, they had a bad upbringing. I didn't think they had, great direction at home or school. No, these people are criminals. They're scum. They should be charged with hate crime and kidnapping and assault and spend as much time as legally possible in jail based on the laws of the country. There is no brushing this off. If this was the other way around, and KK members abducted a black, mentally ill man and beat him and scalped him and threatened him with a knife, forget it. Those white guys would be dead. They'd be caught, beaten on the street by a bunch of black people, and they'd be dead. Yet, civilized white people want it entirely differently. We want them apprehended. We want our laws of our country to be upheld. Honestly, I'd like to see them strung up and beat the shit to death. But that's just me. Because I don't believe in spare the rod, spoil the child. I believe if the child misbehaves, you beat them. And this is the whole problem with society. We've become so passive in the way we raise our kids. This millennial generation of kids that have had everything handed to them with no sense of work, no sense of responsibility, no sense of right and wrong, because the parents don't teach them this anymore. I freaking flip when I read these parenting books that say, don't tell your child no to anything. Let them think that they had the world at their feet. You know, you don't. Unfortunately, you have to work for it. And you have a whole generation, specifically of black youth, that is now being told, you are owed. You deserve reparations, and the white man should take care of you. No. No, take care of you. Take care of your own. Every other minority in this country has done that. The amount of violent crime in Asian communities, Jewish communities, Latino communities, even Muslim communities is minuscule compared to the crime that goes on in African American communities. Why? Why? What is wrong? Family structure doesn't exist there anymore. And I'm not sitting here lauding the idea of, the family structure is the whole core of society. To a degree it is. An existent male role model in a child's life does something. It gives them direction. It changes their mental outlook on life. It gives them somebody to look up to aspire to learn from. When you pull that out, what you're left with is a vacuum that, unfortunately, it's not sexist to say that women cannot fill that role. Because when you have a single parent trying to work and raise a child, it's hard. It's hard. Ask any single parent out there. It is not fucking easy. And the allure of crap on the internet, shit like Black Lives Matter, is alluring to somebody who has no direction, who has no leadership, who has no guidance. And it's scary. They are the new KKK. They are the American ISIS. If you don't believe so, watch what happens over the course of the next year. I can't wait to see the stupid shit that they pull once Trump gets inaugurated. They will use any excuse possible to start a race war, and that's where we're headed. So thank you. Give me some feedback. Leave me comments.